A very good afternoon to everyone to this press conference organized by Press Information Bureau, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. I'd like to inform everyone that this press conference is also being streamed live on PIB's YouTube channel, PIB India, and being watched across India and the world through our live stream. So today we have with us the cast and the crew of Gujarati film Hari Om Hari, which is releasing in cinemas shortly on the 24th. Yes? 8th on 28th of December. 8th of December. Oh, 8th of okay, 8th of December. Apologies. It's being released in cinemas on 8th of December and is being screened here at IFFI 54 under the Gala Premiere section. So I'd like to introduce the cast and crew who are our guests today. We have with us Nisarga Vaidya, who is the director of the film. We have with us Siddharth Randeria, Ronak Kamdar, Vyoma Nandi, and Malhar Rathod, who are actors in the film. And we have with us Sanjay Chhabria, who is the producer of the film. I welcome all of you to this press conference.
Thank you.
Before moving forward, why don't we have a look at the trailer of the film?
Oh, wow. Okay.
That sure seems like a very interesting love story indeed.
Okay.
So before I throw the floor open to questions from the audience, I'd like each of you to speak a little bit about the film. Should we start with the director, Nisarg sir?
Hi guys. So Hari Om Hari, as the name suggests, it's a wordplay. It's about this character Om, who is having a good time with his friend, who turns out to be his wife, and how this relationship gets twisted, and a new character enters his life and changes everything and makes him get onto his life sooner. So that's more or less the premise. It's a love story. It's a fantasy rom-com, and it's also sort of the start of the love story of me and filmmaking also. And it's been a great time. I hope you guys see the film and then I could talk more.
Thank you,
Only
sir.
thing I don't know, somehow we couldn't have the subtitles, otherwise you would have followed it better. But probably what I wish is, without hearing, not understanding the dialogues, if it conveys something to you, that's the best cinema, I believe.
So that's the power of cinema, I think.
That's what I believe. That's the best cinema.
So that's would you like to say a few words about the
Well,
film?
it's the same thing, not to repeat what he said. I would rather say something about the Gujarati film industry as it stands today. Well, the industry has been quite old for last, how many decades? Any idea? About 50 years or 60? Maybe more than 60 as well. But it has gone through a lot of changes over the years. There were kind of films, mainly there were folk films which were being done in Gujarati, because it was aimed at masses and they would appreciate that more. And Gujarat has a very rich legacy of folk tales, so which went on for almost, say, about 25-30 years. Those kind of films ran very well, and almost all the films completing more than 25 weeks or 50 weeks in cinemas, because those were the days of single screen cinemas and they had a captive audience. Over the last 12 years, new generation of filmmakers entered the arena, and they started making what they label it as urban films. You see, the earlier ones were more of folk tales and all. So then they started targeting urban films, modern day problems. Gujarat has really progressed in all the aspects, as you all know, business wise, otherwise, development of cities. So the youth also has graduated to accepting different and varied subjects. So where we stand just now is a very crucial stage of Gujarati cinema making. Things are changing at a rapid speed. What was happening about 10 years back and what is happening now is, probably every year we are trying to change the narratives, the kind of stories we tell. There are historical films being made on big budget. But like any other regional cinema, as you would know, budgets are the constraint. Very, very big constraint, which everyone faces, be it Assamese, Bengali, Marathi, anything when you call it regional, and probably barring Punjabi, because they have a huge overseas market otherwise, and they earn in big numbers. But otherwise, rest of the languages, they do have a stringent budget. But still, with those budgets, newer producers are coming in. And to talk about Sanjay ji, Sanjay Chhabria is the chairman and director of the company called Everest Entertainment. And to his credit, he has more than 30 feature films in Marathi, which is a record of its sorts. And this is his first venture into Gujarati. Welcome, sir. So this is basically, I wanted to tell you about the scenario, what Gujarati cinema is going through at the moment.
Thank you. Now, should we move on to Ronak, sir?
Yeah. So about the film, well, you've seen the trailer. I'm sure you must have guessed that it is a love story. It's about 3 characters and a fourth one that comes into their life.
Is it on?
So, oh, sorry. Hello. You guys can hear me, though, right? Hello. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, like he said about the film, it's a love story. It's a romantic triangle, and a fourth character that comes in and changes things around. But I think right now what we would really want to talk about more is that so this is my second film that has been showcased at IFFI, and that the previous one was also a Gujarati film. So we are very happy to be here, first of all, because it feels very heartening to see that such a major film festival now also looks at Gujarati films. IFFI was very gracious enough to invite us for this and have our film premiere in this festival. So that talks a lot about where Gujarati films stand nowadays, because we are not only finding acceptance within our own community and our own audience, but we are reaching far out and wide to a lot of other audiences and a lot of other people from other regionalities watching and enjoying our films. So yeah, I think I would just want to say that, and I hope all of you all watch the film with us today at the premiere and you really enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vyoma ma'am?
Hello, everybody. I guess there's not much to say. One thing I would like to say, though, that not only the actors, but every single technician that's been involved in the film has given their 100%. And I think the kind of Gujarati cinema we've had so far, and with this film, we are kind of set a different trend and also set the bar way high. And I think adding to what Ronak said, we are all very, very proud of our film. And if a festival like IFFI has recognized us and invited us, that just adds to our validation as to our hard work being recognized. And we are very, very happy to be here, and we hope you all join hands with us in our joy. Thank you.
Thank you. We are also very happy to have you here. Malarma?
I think everything's said already. Can you hear me? I think everything has been said already. I just want to say this movie is double special for me because this is my first Gujarati film and this is my first time I'm at IFFI. So I am loving it. I'm having a great time. Thank you so much for having us over here. And about the story, all I can say is it's not just a rom-com. It has a lot of twists and turns. I think once you see the movie, you'll get to know about it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Sanjay sir, would you like to say something?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So first, Siddharth bhai, thank you for the lovely introduction. I am a big fan of Marathi and Gujarati cinema. Yes, like sir said, I've already done, I don't know whether it'll be right to call myself a veteran in Marathi cinema, but yes, I've done a lot of Marathi films. And I've been following Gujarati films since a long time. Like Siddharth sir said, there is an upsurge and there is a new age of filmmakers in the Gujarati in the Gujarati language. You know, there are some great filmmakers. So I think it was a very natural choice for me to do a Gujarati film. I was lucky this project came by to me. It has a fantastic story, and you know, icing on the cake was Siddharth sir in it, and a very, very talented cast. We've done our best in this movie. I think, one more thing I just wanted to point out is, you know, we were talking about Gujarati cinema and Marathi cinema. My observation is everybody talks about South, but some of the most progressive films are in these two languages, you know, in Gujarati and Marathi. We've done our best with this film. We have a fantastic cast and crew, and one person I would like to mention who's not there on the dais is our music director, Parth Bharat Thakkar. He's done a fabulous job, which you will soon see. We have songs sung by Arman Malik, by Shekhar Raujiani, by Salim Merchant. We have a very rich soundtrack. So I hope you know, enjoy the movie as much as we did while making it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So as we all wait to watch the screening of this film, first let's begin with some questions that we have from the audience regarding the film.
And one more thing, of course, you are listening and recording and everything. But as I said, Gujarati cinema needs a little push and a platform to reach to other regions of our country, other states, because just now it's limited only to Gujarat, but we need to break that barrier and reach to other wider audiences as well. All the films carry subtitles. Like we all of us, we see all language films. And because film is a film, and when there is a nice story nicely put up, it gives you the same pleasure, and language becomes secondary. But from your side, what you could do for us is by writing about Gujarati cinema and creating little awareness, whatever with your medium you can give us. Thank you so much.
So that's as you talk so passionately about Gujarati cinema, I'd like to ask you that do you see Gujarati cinema to be a different genre compared to maybe Hindi cinema, or like for example South Indian films are
Yes.
often known to have a different
Yeah.
flavor or a different way in which direction is done or
day
songs are.
the day we start trying to wannabe or trying to ape Hindi cinema or South cinema, we will lose our charm. The
Sir-
whole essence of the thing is that we are not doing that. We are trying to give our own stories, our own original stories in our own original way. So that's why it differentiates from the other cinema. So and there is no kind of competition, or as I said, the budgets would be a constraint. And with those budgets, still I would refrain from doing what is mainstream in the cinema. I mean, I that's my personal choice. Given
and-
the same budget, I would do something else.
So are there any specific flavors, maybe the folk dances of Gujarat that maybe
No,
are
why?
seen in the cinema?
No, why?
or
That appeals to the audience which is outside Gujarat.
Right.
Something which you see every day.
right.
You see, if I try and put everything and the same thing in my film, then you are not excited. You want to see
Right.
something different. It's like giving thali to a Gujarati, which he eats every day.
Right.
So he'll be bored. He would rather look for a roadside momo or noodles. So it's like that. So palette is something like that. For cinema also it works in the same manner. But folk, yes, of course, it's not forgotten and out. Lot of material is there in folk. We still have it. Or we could revisit the films which have been made 30 years back and make a newer version with newer technology. And they would come across much better, because those days we didn't have the enough resources to make a movie. So all that can be looked into. Per se, Gujarati audience generally prefers a little humorous, a dash of humor in any kind of story you say.
I think
Probably
that
that goes
reflects
with
also in their
every
personalities. I think the most humorous and fun people I've met are my Gujarati friends.
ऐसे है? अच्छा.
And Nisarg sir, I'd like to come to you. So from the trailer of the film, it looks like a story that delves into friendship and love. So can you tell us a little bit more about that? Your take on it?
So, I guess the best thing about the film is how relatable those friendship moments and those love moments are. This is not one of those films which kind of gives a take on it in a cheesy sort of a very commercial way. And that's also like the beauty of regional cinema, where you can be real, you can be absolutely contemporary to that particular place. And the idea is not to sell something but to connect. And I think I want to be in a place where any friends, especially the best part would be friends who actually turned into partners, or people like that who watch this and just go to their partners and be like, see, this is us. That's sort of the beauty of the narrative, the film and everything. And that was my attempt, because I also got married 2 years back.
Okay.
And my idea was the one line of the film I really loved, that you can make your best friend your wife, but can you make your wife your best friend? So that's a very interesting question, and to delve into it in a funny sort of a way or a lighter way, it's fun.
I'd like to come to the three actors here. So can you tell us a little bit about the process that you went through to get into the three characters that you're playing?
I think start with Malhar.
So, since it's my first Gujarati film, it must have taken me a little elaborate prep than these two, actually all of them. So yeah, mainly the diction. I had to work on my diction, and as per the character, it was very relatable to me. Like because she's an aspiring director, so being connected to the industry for so long, you have an idea about how an aspiring director is, and she's also very adventurous, very deep in her thoughts, and yeah, so mainly the diction, and yeah, I kept reading the script, going through it, so it helped me a lot.
So, very interesting question actually. I haven't been asked this yet. My character's name is Vinny in the film, and in order to prep for Vinny, so since it's about also friendship, I had to make sure that nothing looks made up. And luckily, I had a director like Nisarg who kind of sat through all the 50 billion questions that I asked him and bothered him with. So thank you for that, Nisarg. And another thing that I had to work on was, so this girl, I'm from Canada, but this girl isn't. And I used to ask Ronak and Nisarg for certain English words that I use in the film, how to say it in an Indian way. So I hope that sounds legitimate. Other than that, I think, yeah, the relativity factor was the main focus, that nothing should look made up and it should look very, very organic. So that was the main prep.
So, I mean, there's no straight answer to this particular question from me, because it's a love story at the end of the day. We've seen love stories in a lot of languages across the ages. I mean, some things in a love story don't change, right? The guy next door is going to be the guy next door. So, but elaborating a little bit on Siddharth sir's answer to the previous question and kind of getting a bridge between these two is that just like every other region has its own philosophies, own values, own culture. So the response to any human conflict or any human problem is unique to a particular region because of those things. So what we have tried to do with this film is that we have tried to present a love story, but in a way that is true to the Gujarati culture as to what kind of values govern your thoughts and the character's motivations and the flow of the story henceforth. So, which is what I think where Siddharth sir was also trying to say, that Gujarat has its own unique personality. The people there are a little different from the rest of the country. So their approach to these human problems or human emotions are also hence different.
Right.
So we just try to be as close to those things as possible so that we can give another love story a very unique texture.
Right. I'm sure everyone will be very interested to see exactly what you mean. Sanjay sir, I'd like to ask you, what is it that made you believe in this script and in this film?
So it's a very, very relatable story, and I love rom-coms. I love love stories. Okay, I love chick flicks. All the. So when I heard the script, and it connected with me very emotionally, and it's not a, it's a rom-com, but it's a very, very sensible film. It's a very, very mature film. Once you see the film, you'll understand, the finer nuances in the story. And I think, the moment I heard the entire script, it was love at first sight for me. So there was no reason not to produce it.
Right.
My tension increases because my producer says he likes rom-coms and chick flicks. So I'm not going to find work from him. So I have to chase and find newer producers now.
Sir, I'm sure he'll make the right rom-coms and chick flicks for you as well. Do we have any questions from the audience? Or yes, sir, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's a wonderful, very, very good combo today. The gala premiere in IFFI. Tomorrow, you are releasing film in Gujarat and Mumbai. So, only one question. What is your overall excitement, gala premiere in IFFI, releasing film in Gujarat and Mumbai? I just want one line from Siddharth Bhai.
Oh, mere se. I'm calm. What can you do? Film is made. You see? And when it releases, what happens? Every filmmaker goes through this. The language is of no importance. Anything you make, be it a short film or a documentary, but it is, it's your labor of love and whatever you call, and it's your baby which is going to now open his eyes to the world and how the world sees it. Because we are going to like our own baby and we are going to feel that, oh, there can nothing be better than this. But it is up to the audiences, how they react, so that some kind of anxiety is always there, and it should always remain also. Otherwise, you are nonchalant about the work which you have done. So that anxiety is always there. And we hope. And since we are breaking grounds in our language, Gujarati cinema, we are still breaking grounds. So that's why more. If it was an established market with where we know, अरे पहले दिन का तो इतना 3 दिन में ये collection है. Oh, that scenario is not here. The film has to appeal to the 12 to 3 audience. Then you know that it catches momentum. Then the weekend comes. Then the weeks after that. So that's a small, little slower process of film reaching some height or success. So it's that. The anxiety is very much there. But the joy is overpowering the anxiety of being here. Fiki inviting us and giving us the best treatment and getting to meet so many people from elsewhere. It's a great experience.
Thank you so much.
That you have chosen to bring your film in IFFI. God bless you. All the best.
Thank you.
No, thank you for just to add a little bit to what you said, like being a first film. This is okay.
Just let him complete, please. Then we can take your question.
Sorry. So this being my first film, it's been like last 7 days being sleepless nights and stuff like that. But coming here, it is surreal beyond description. So thank you so much, everyone, for giving me the time.
Also, I would just like to add, film is not releasing tomorrow. It's releasing on
On
8th
the
of
8th.
December.
Actually, there's a little bit of an error.
Yeah,
I know.
Huh.
So just
Yeah.
making sure
Yeah.
that
We have an
Thank,
older trailer.
thank you for pointing it out.
Yeah, for everyone. Please, if you
No,
please
they are
note
not going to
the
go and buy tickets.
film's releasing on the 8th of December. So we had a little change
Yes,
in the
sir.
release
You were
date.
asking something.
We have a question
Compared
from
to other languages, the Gujarati films are very rare in IFFI. What is the reason? A couple of years back, I had seen one film called Hillaro. It was a beautiful movie. But before that, so many years, there were hardly any movies shown in IFFI. So what could be the reason? The number of films made in Gujarati are very less.
No. Since last 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't say the number is less. In fact, the number is increasing. And, one film works. That means other 10 producers want to make. It's something like that. But you rightly pointed out, it has been quite sparse, whatever the movies have been featured here. But every year we do get at least 2 to 3 films which are not run of the mill, which are of some caliber. Otherwise, most of the films, as you say, like you may ask, Bhojpuri kyun nahi hoti hai? But I would accept that very bluntly that everything cannot be so good in any language. So there are degrees and kind of categories of movies made. Out of that, some reach that level of acclaim where if we would like to showcase them. And we are lucky that before release of the movie, we are getting the chance to showcase it here. So that says a lot about the kind of film which we have made.
Also, there's a very optimistic rising trend of featuring Gujarati films also in IFFI, and we're very proud of that. Because in the last 50 years that films have been made, in the last, I think 5 years itself, there have been 4 films that have already been showcased at IFFI. Helaro obviously was the festival opener of the year.
It went to national also.
It went to national as well. Ikvismu Tiffin was a film that came 2 years back, which was selected in the Indian Panorama section. So now we're picking up the pace. We are also kind of matching steps with the rest of the regional film industries, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of more Gujarati presence in IFFI in the forthcoming editions.
Amen to that. Do we have more questions? Yes, we have a question there.
Hi, my question is to the director. you said this movie appeals more to the this movie is more towards the modern problems, and it depicts the youth, particularly of the day. So, what was your inspiration for the movie, and what are your expectations from the movie once it's released?
So I think life is the biggest inspiration. Like I said before, that I had just recently gotten married, and I feel stories can be specific, but feelings are always universal. Even if you watch a Hollywood movie, if it relates to you, you will feel that pain or you will feel that moment. So I think you try to draw as much from life as possible and try to bring something new there. Like your experience will be always your own. And with a movie like this, it was just adding your own personality or your own thoughts on something and giving it a slightly different edge. Apart from that, the story kind of does the job for on its own. So that was not a problem.
Do we have any more questions? If not, I think then we've come to the end of the press conference. It's lovely to see the passion that all of you have for Gujarati cinema, and all the very best for your screening.
Thank
and
you
for
so
your
much.
Thank you.